Hi guys, my name is Kate, and welcome to today's practice. We're just going to take some time here to relax, let go of the rest of our day, and center ourselves. Breathe however you like. Just let go. On our next inhale, we're going to bring both knees into our chest, squeezing them in. Creating lots of length down our spine. And on our next inhale, we'll leave the left knee tucked into our chest and bring the right one down and out to the side. And bringing our right knee back up to chest, squeezing them both in. And now we'll bring our left knee out to the side, keeping the right one tucked in. And bringing the left knee back up to center, squeezing them both in, and then both knees out to either side. Knees back into center, and then out to either side. And gently bringing both knees back into center. And we'll bring our legs up as if we were sitting in a chair. And we're going to gently drop our knees over to the right side without touching the floor, bringing them back through center, and drop them over to the left without touching the floor. Center, over to the right, center, over to the left, back through center, to the right, through center, to the left, center, to the right, back through center, over to the left. One more time each side. Center, to the right, center, to the left. And bringing our knees back into the center, we're going to lift our shoulders up off the ground and come up for a boat pose and some boat sit-ups. So we'll straighten ourselves. Feet and shoulders never touch the ground, and we crunch. Straighten and crunch. Straighten and crunch. And straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, and straighten. Only a few more left. Crunch, almost done. Straighten and crunch. Last one. Straighten and crunch and hold it and relax. Take a deep breath here. You did a great job. And we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Give them a little squeeze. And then we're going to rock and roll along our spine and roll through to a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to move through some cat-cows here. So on our next inhale, we're going to arch our spine. We're going to look forward, chest forward. And on our exhale, we're going to round our spine, push through our hands, and look back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, look back. Inhale, arching our spine. Exhale, rounding our spine. Inhale, look forward, chest forward. Last one. Exhale, looking back, rounding your spine. Coming back to our neutral tabletop, we're going to bring our right leg out straight behind us, lifting our left arm off the mat in front of us, lifting that right leg off the mat, and we're going to crunch knee to elbow, straighten, crunch knee to elbow, straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten, last crunch, straighten, and we're going to pop our arm and leg up, 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 and back to tabletop. Switching legs, bringing our left leg straight down the mat, right arm out in front, lifting the left leg, and crunching knee to elbow. Straighten, crunch knee to elbow, straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten. Last one, crunch, straighten, and we're going to pop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes underneath, and we're going to gently hover our knees off the mat, just about an inch, and release. Let's do it again. Picking up our knees, and release. One last time here, picking up our knees. We're not going to release them this time. We're going to move our body back in space and come into a downward facing dog. Take some time here to walk out your dog. Get a nice deep stretch down your hamstrings. And on our next exhale, we're going to bend our knees, look up to the top of the mat, jumper step up, inhale halfway lift, and exhale fold forward. Inhale, raise our hands up to the sky, and exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Slowly lower through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're going to come forward back into our plank, and exhale, push back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward back into plank. Exhale, push back into a downward facing dog. One more here. Inhale, come forward back into plank. And exhale, push back into a downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're going to come forward back into our plank, slowly lowering through chaturanga to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and release all the way down to the mat. We're going to slide our hands down by our ribs, and on inhale, we're going to lift up chest and head off the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, chest and head lift off the mat. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, chest and head lift. Exhale, release. And now we're going to slide our arms in front of us, elbows under shoulders, palms straight out in front for Sphinx pose. Just a slight back bend here. Take a moment to breathe. We're not here long. And we'll gently release back down to the mat. Bringing our arms back up by our sides, we're going to push back up to a plank and back to a downward facing dog. On our next exhale, we're going to bend our knees, look up to the top of the mat, jumper step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, fold all the way forward. One breath here, and on our exhale, we'll plant our hands, step back to a high plank, chaturanga push-up, push back to high plank, lower through chaturanga into an upward facing dog, and exhale, push back into a downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our right leg up behind us, and we're going to bring it through right knee to nose, leg up, right knee to right elbow, leg up, right knee to nose, and then stepping it through between our hands. We're going to come up to a high runner's lunge, 90-degree angle in that front knee, back heel pressing down into the mat, hands to the sky. And we're going to move here, straightening the front leg and bending, straightening the front leg, bending, straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Last one here, straighten and bend. Bringing our hands down to frame our front foot, stepping back into a high plank, moving through chaturanga push-up, back to high plank, slowly lower chaturanga into an upward facing dog, and exhale, push back into a downward facing dog. This time on our inhale, raising our left leg up behind us and bringing it through knee to nose, left leg up, left knee to left elbow, left leg up, left knee to nose, and stepping it through between our hands. Coming up high runner's lunge on the left side, 90-degree bend in that front knee, right heel pushes back towards the mat, and we're going to move here, straightening our front leg and bending, straightening and bending, straightening and bending, straightening and bending. And framing our left foot with both hands, stepping back to a high plank, slowly lower chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. On our next inhale, raising our right leg back up behind us, and right knee to nose, right leg up, right knee to right elbow, right leg up, right knee to nose, and stepping it through between our hands, opening up to a warrior two. Back foot is parallel with the back of the mat, 90-degree bend in the front knee, chest faces forward, head turns towards your right hand. And reverse our warrior. This is a side stretch, not a back bend, so we want to make sure we're moving from the side of our body here. Back to warrior two. Extended side angle, our right arm comes down towards the ground or to your knee, and the left arm reaches up and overhead. Back to warrior two, straightening the front leg, left hip moves back, right arm moves forward, and we tip at the waist like a teapot for a triangle pose. Opening up as much of our side body as we can here. Slight bend in the front knee as we come up and move into a full warrior two. Last time, cartwheel your hands forward, step the right foot back to a high plank, lower through chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, we're raising our left leg up behind, left knee to nose, left leg up, left knee to left elbow, left leg up, left knee to nose, stepping our foot through and opening up to a warrior two on the left side. Right foot parallel with the back of the mat, 90-degree bend in the left knee. Chest forward, gaze towards your left hand, and reverse our warrior. Again, moving at the side body, not through the back. Back to warrior two. Left knee to left elbow for extended side angle, or you can bring your hand all the way down to the ground. Right arm comes up and overhead. Back to warrior two, straightening the front leg. Right hip moves to the right. Left arm reaches forward, and we tip at the side like a teapot for triangle pose. Right arm comes up and we twist as much as we can through our side body. Slight bend in that front leg as we come up. Back to full warrior two. Cartwheeling our hands to frame our left foot. Stepping back to a high plank. Slowly lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. On our next inhale, we're going to raise our right leg up behind us. Right knee to nose. Right leg up. Right knee to right elbow. Right leg up. Right knee to nose. And stepping our foot through. We're going to slowly lower our left knee down to the ground here. And we're going to heel toe our right foot out towards the edge of our mat, bringing both hands to the inside, and about a 45-degree angle in the right foot. This is lizard pose. You can stay here if you're comfortable. You can come down to your elbows if you'd like a deeper stretch, or you can move with me here. I'm going to tuck my left toes under, picking my left knee up off the ground, and lowering it, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering, lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. Last one, lifting and lowering. If we're on our elbows, we'll come back to our hands, and we're going to heel toe our right foot over through center to the left hand side of our mat. And we're going to set ourselves up for pigeon pose. We'll take a moment to set ourselves up and stay in an active pigeon, squeezing our thighs in towards each other to keep ourselves steady and upright, raising our hands to the sky. And then exhale and relax in your pigeon. The most important thing for a pigeon pose is that our hips are square and that you're getting a glute stretch here. You can stay on your hands, you can come down to your elbows, completely melt your body into the mat, whatever works for you. On our next inhale, we're going to gently extract ourselves from this pose. We're going to bring our right foot back to meet our left and push back into a downward facing dog to walk out our feet. And on our next inhale, raising our left foot behind us, left knee to nose, left foot up, left knee to left elbow, left foot up, left knee to nose, and stepping our left foot through between our hands, lowering our right knee down to the ground, and heel toeing our left foot out to the side of our mat at about a 45-degree angle in that left foot. And again, you can stay here, come onto your elbows, whatever you like, but I'm going to move here, so feel free to do it with me. Raising the knee and lowering it, raising, lowering, raising, lowering, raising, lowering, raising, lowering, raising, lowering, and coming from wherever you are back to your hands to heel toe that left foot through the center and over to the right side to set up for pigeon for our left leg. Again, take the time to set yourself up. We're going to stay in an active pigeon, squeezing our thighs together, raising our hands up to the ceiling, and then relaxing into our pigeon pose. Like the other side, find what's comfortable for you. Sometimes different sides have different comfort levels. You can stay up on your hands, come down to your elbows, melt into the mat, whatever works for you. And we'll start to gently extract ourselves from this pose, bringing our hands down to push our left foot back in space to meet our right, and coming into a downward facing dog to walk out our legs. On our next exhale, we're going to bend our knees, look up to the top of the mat, jump our step up to meet our hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise our hands up to the ceiling, and exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a high plank. And we're going to open up into a side plank. Left hand planted into the mat. Right arm up towards the ceiling, pushing our hips up as high as we can in space. We're not here for long, guys. You can do it. Breathe through it. And releasing back down into a high plank. Switching over to our other side. Right hand is planted on the mat. Left hand is up in space. Pushing our hips up into the sky as high as we can. Again, we're not here forever. Just breathe through it. And slowly releasing back down into plank. Slowly lowering through a chaturanga all the way down to the mat. And release. We're going to bring our fingers out in line with our shoulders to the outsides of our mat on tented fingers. We're going to lift our chest up. And we're going to roll our right shoulder in and down for a nice little shoulder stretch here. We're going to pick our chest up, and we're going to do the same with our left shoulder in and down. And then picking our chest up, let's do this one more time. Right shoulder in and down. And picking up our chest, left shoulder in and down last time. And picking up our chest one last time, and release back to the mat. And bringing our hands down by our sides, we're going to move through a few locust poses. So inhale, we're going to pick our knees, our legs, our chest, our head, everything we can up from the mat. Squeeze it all back towards each other and release. Turn your head to the right side. And let's go again. Pick everything up off of the mat. Squeeze it as hard as you can, everything you've got. And release. Head towards the left side of the mat. And we've got one last one to do here. Best one yet. Picking everything up off the mat, squeezing harder than we've squeezed before. You can do it. Almost done. A little harder. And release. Head to the right. Take a couple of breaths here, guys. You deserve it. And we're going to bring our legs up towards our bum, our feet. And we're going to reach for our feet or our ankles, whatever we can grab. And we're going to move through a few boat poses. So like locusts, we're lifting everything we can up off the mat, kicking our feet into our hands, and creating a bow shape with our body. And release. Head to the left. And we'll go again, kicking our feet into our hands. Bring your chest, our legs up off the ground, creating that beautiful bow shape. Squeezing and release. Head to the right. And only one more to go here, guys. Let's kick our feet into our hands. Bring our chest up off the ground, legs up off the ground, kicking as hard as we can, a little harder. You can do it. And release. Release your legs and relax. Take your time, guys. We're going to roll over onto our backs. And just take a moment to set yourself up again with your legs like they were sitting in a chair. And we're going to go through our last thing, I promise, a few eagle sit-ups. We're going to wrap our right leg over our left leg. We're going to wrap our right arm under our left arm. And we're going to crunch and straighten. Crunch and straighten. Crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten. And let's relax for a moment. Not too long though. And let's switch to the other side. Left over right leg, left under right arm, crunch and straighten, crunch and straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten, crunch, straighten, and release. Bring your feet out wide and just let your knees fall in towards each other. And we'll let our knees fall apart as we bring our feet in towards each other for cobbler's pose. And we'll gently bring our knees back to center. Pick them up like they're sitting in a chair again, but this time just let them drop over to the left side. Turning your gaze to the right. Just a nice, gentle twist here. And we'll bring our knees back up to center. And just let them drop over to the other side, over to the right. Let your gaze turn over to the left. And just relax here. Gently bringing your knees back through center again. Just take a moment to grab you the outsides of your feet for happy baby. Take a few rolls. Be the happiest baby. Maybe give your feet a few claps. And then when you're ready, release and relax. We are done and you deserve it. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, guys. I'll see you next time. Namaste.